Alright guys, welcome to the appointment setting framework 2023-2024. This is going to be the complete breakdown of my new and improved appointment setting framework. This is like killer. It's iterated to the most current, newest version. So let's get straight into it then. So the two ways you're going to be getting leads or potentially getting leads, mostly it's going to be this through the person's profile, even if it's outbound, right? Sometimes the business owner will also be running lead magnets. So if you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's basically like a freebie they're going to be giving away that's going to get people, prospects and leads, to message them for it. Basically gets them to raise their hand up, say, hey, I want this free resource, I want this freebie, can you give it to me? And it could be like a keyword. So it could be like DM the word me if you want this free framework. Okay, so those are going to be the two ways you're getting leads, and it's pretty similar. So let's get straight into it. The main thing, though, the main structure summary is going to be, let me find it. Intro, gauge interest, qualify, pitch, book meeting, anything pre-call, and follow-ups. I've had all this, stop responding. Let's get straight into it. Said it like 3 times now. So lead magnet, this is how it goes. The prospect asks for the free resource. The setter, so you're going to give the free resource, and that's how you're going to start the convo. And then just say like, just sent it now, or here you go. Any of these versions, you can feel free to pick whichever one, and you can personalize it too. You can come up with your own sauce, your own lines as you get more and more used to appointment setting. Okay, so you're gonna give them the resource if it's through a lead magnet. If it's through their profile, depending on how you found them, because one of the ways you could be getting leads is through reaching out to likers. Could be reaching out to, so everyone who likes the most recent post or any post, anyone who comments, anyone who follows, and yeah, basically that's it. Or any inbound as well. Likers, commenters, followers. So you're gonna go through their likes, comments, their followers, and you're just gonna say something like, hey, what's up, name? Whatever their name is, appreciate you for liking the content, means a lot. Or if they commented, appreciate you for commenting on the post. Or following, same thing. You could say this as well. Just say thanks for showing love to the content. And then what you're gonna do, they're gonna respond back, or you're not gonna respond. They're not gonna respond back yet by this time. You always follow up after. So you say this, and then you say a question to gauge interest / qualify. So what I mean by that, let's say it's a Facebook ads agency that you're working for. Ask them if they're running Facebook ads at the moment. If it's in fitness, it's like, how's your health and fitness going? Or have you started going to the gym, or have you embarked on your fitness journey yet? Have you embarked on your fitness journey already, or just starting out? Have you gotten into e-commerce? Are you running a brand as well, or are you just starting out? So that's just to see if they're even in the game yet or not, if they're even doing what you're doing. Because if they're not doing what you're doing, then this is what you do. Or like, for example, if you're targeting coaches, ask if they're a coach as well or just starting out. That's typically the best way to kick things off. If they say yes, oh yeah, I'm a coach as well, you can ask, oh, that's dope, how long have you been doing that for? You could say, oh, how's that been going so far? How's the journey been? Are you scaling or just starting to? Or you could say, oh, nice, like, what stage are you at? And then they could say something like, oh, I'm just got my first few clients and looking to scale. With fitness, for example, you say, oh, I'm just started going to the gym a few months ago, trying to bulk up. If they say no, if you haven't started what you're doing or what you help people with, then there's also a way to get around that and just say, oh, gotcha, I guess, is there anything stopping you from getting into this? You're basically saying if there's anything holding them back. So you can also ask straight up, is there anything holding you back from going all in with it, or how do you feel? And the power of these questions is that they're just going to tell you straight what's holding them back, if there's anything. And that's pain right there. And then as soon as you get that first piece of leverage, that's basically like your trigger, that's your cue to start asking questions. That's your permission to start qualifying them. So prospect answers, and then based on if you can help them or not, which is 90% of the time, ask permission to qualify first. So I always like to use this line. I like to say, honestly, hate to be forward, but yada yada yada. Honestly, hate to be forward, but I'd actually be down to help you with that if you're interested. So let's say in the fitness example, oh, I haven't started yet just because of time, or I haven't gotten started yet because I don't know where to start. You might get that quite a lot. In that case, that should be like ringing bells in your head. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, I can help this person out. Cool. And then you go straight to qualifying, seeing if they're actually going to be a good fit for what you do, because that's what we need first. So you just say something like, honestly, hate to be forward, but I'd actually be down to help you with that if you're interested. With the coaching example, they say, oh, like, I haven't gotten started. I just started out, but I don't know how to get clients. Boom. Cool. Get to qualify them. But we ask permission. So we say, honestly, hate to be forward, I'd actually be down to help you with that if you're interested. If they say no, which is sometimes what you'll get, or like they leave you on red. Honestly, if they leave you on red the whole time or any point in the conversation, always remember to follow up. And there's a follow-up module on how to do that. Basically, just keeping the conversation going. You know, I say here, prospect says no, figure out why. And either objection handle or kindly disqualify. So I have an objection handling module as well in the appointment setting mastery. And then if they say yes, which is what you're going to get most of the time, then cool. So by this point, you would have already kicked off the conversation. You would have already figured out or found out that you can actually help them out, and there's room to help them out. And then now they're saying yes, you can ask me a couple questions. So you just say, okay, cool. Is it cool if I ask a couple questions first, just to see what situation you're working with at the moment? And then they'll be like, yeah. And then I say here, have a list of 3 to 6 questions, or maybe not 3 to 6, just around around 3 to 6. There's no exact amount, but you just want to have the list of questions that will help you qualify them, and you should not change and is dependent on your niche. Look on their profile in case you can avoid any unnecessary questions. And the whole time as well, guys, remember what I said in the first module about being human, genuinely wanting to help them out, relating with them and not sounding interviewee. You want to build rapport in between while moving the convo forward and keeping the frame. So you want to be building rapport, you want to get them to trust you, to like you, while you're progressing the conversation forward towards the call. You're not going off in this direction, talking about their dog or how their day was going. No, you want to keep it focused. You want to move it forward towards closer to booking the call, while being genuine, while being authentic, and having rapport. When I say look on their profile, in case you can avoid any unnecessary questions, what I mean by that is, you can just take a quick look at their profile. And then what I mean by the question, so here's where it's going to make sense now. For example, in the business niche, let's say with the coaching example, let's say you're on an offer that helps coaches grow and sign more clients. So you can ask, or let's go off of my old offer, which is like an e-commerce offer. It helped people get into e-commerce, or maybe you're helping people get into affiliate marketing. So the questions that we would ask this was our set of questions, was first of all, how old are you and where are you based? If they're 18 to 23, are they working or studying at the moment? If they're 23 plus, ask them what they do for work. Check if they have the time to devote into the mentorship or the business. So I said, gotcha. So with that going on, would you actually then have the time to devote into e-commerce, for example, talking 1 to 2 hours a day? And then lastly, what we'd ask is, what do you feel you need the most help with then with e-com? So these were our set of questions. You're going to have to come up with your own set of questions, unless the business owner already knows what you want them to ask. But you're going to have to come up with the questions, because I don't know what offer you're on or what niche you're on. Fitness example. You can also ask sort of the same thing. So first of all, like, how old are you and where are you based? If they're 18 to 23, same thing. Are they working or studying? What do they do for work if 23 plus? Would they actually have the time to devote into improving their health and fitness 1 to 2 hours a day? And then lastly, what do they feel they need the most help with? So we're getting logistics, we're getting how they are, where they're based. These questions, the good thing about these questions is that it can kind of give us an idea before the call if they might have the money to invest or not. Because like, if they're working and they're over 23 and they're from the US, there's a good chance they'll have some money or some savings to shell out on a program. However, if they're studying and they're from, I don't have anything against Pakistan, but if they're from Pakistan, then and they're like 18, 19, there's a good chance they probably won't have the money to invest. Okay. With this question, a lot of the an objection that salespeople hate getting is, oh, I don't have the time to devote into this. So this basically handles that, because if they don't even have the time, don't even have 1 to 2 hours a day to devote into your mentorship, into your coaching, your agency, whatever you're selling, then there's pretty much no point in getting them in, right? And then the last thing is basically seeing what they need the most help with. And that helps because it shows that you're listening, it shows that you genuinely care, but also we can also double down on that in the program, and you can use that as ammo. Because if they really, really need help with something, then you can use that later on, all right? But come up with your own questions. And when I say they shouldn't change, what I mean by that is you should be asking almost the same questions every single time for every lead, every prospect, okay? Look on their profile. So for example, if you see on their profile picture and they're clearly like 23 plus, like they look like a father, they have their kids in their profile picture, they have a beard, then you can kind of read between the lines and don't have to ask the age question, okay? So you're asking your questions, and then I say here, if at any point they don't qualify, figure out if they can get around that or just kindly DQ them. If they qualify, then offer to help and pitch to book a call. So if at any point they don't qualify, let's say they don't have the time for health and fitness, they don't have the time to devote into mentorship, into coaching, they don't have the time to go to the gym, not even 1 to 2 hours, then you can kind of work with them and figure out, okay, like, what's taking up the majority of your time? What do you feel like is wasting your time? Where do you feel like you can cut out? What activities do you feel like you can cut out so that you can make the time? So if they play video games a lot, then try and persuade them to cut out video games. So that's what I mean by seeing if they can get around that. If they really just can't get around certain questions or certain requirements, then just kindly DQ them. And how you kindly DQ them, you just say something like, oh, okay, makes sense. I think honestly right now, I don't know if I'd be able to help you out, but keep following the free content, keep following the material, and I'm sure we're going to speak together in the future again. So that's what you mean. That's what I mean by kindly DQing them, which means disqualifying them. However, most of the time, you'd be up to this point where they do qualify. You've built rapport with them. You're asking your questions. They need help. So now's the time to offer to book a call with them. So what you say, awesome. Looks like we can definitely help you out with that. Are you down to hop on a one-on-one and we'll show you how everything works? Or you could say strategy session. I don't like using the word call because from my experience at least, you could say the word call, but don't say sales call, because that's just gonna sound salesy and they're not gonna want to hop on it. So you could just say strategy session, discovery call, anything you want, but this is how it's gonna look. And I say send and send here because when we're appointment setting, you don't want to be sending big blocks of text. You want to be sending many separate texts, just because that's more natural. And people are lazy; they don't want to read long blocks of text. So if you can do that, do it by all means. So send that. And by this point now, if you've done everything right and they're a good fit, they'll say yes. They'll be down to hop on a call, and congrats, you just booked your first call. Send the scheduling link, the Calendly link to book a call, and then straight after that, this is the important bit, guys. Straight after that, you send either this line, go ahead, pop in a time right now, next few minutes, or you can send this line. It's the same thing. Come up with your own as well if you want. Only going to be at my laptop for another 7 to 10 minutes. If you can find a slot, I'll make sure it confirms. The reason you send this, straight after you send this, the link to book a call, is because what a lot of people do is they'll procrastinate. They'll say, oh, I'll do it later. Or they don't even get back to you. You get left on red. And you're wondering why they left you in red. So this massively ensures that they actually book in a call right then and there instead of leaving you on red. It adds urgency. That's what it does. So send this right after you send the link. This is super important for you guys. Because if you don't do this, you're going to be missing out on a lot of book meetings. If they object, if they don't want to hop on a call, same thing. Figure out why. And either objection handle or kindly disqualify. Again, I have the module for objection handling later on. But by now, super simple. It should not be taking too long of your time. They should have booked in a call, but we're not done yet. If they booked in the call, once you get the confirmation they booked in the call, if you have any pre-call videos, if you have any material, let's say the business owner wants you to send, or wants the prospect to watch these certain videos before the call, just so they know what they're heading into, send that first, or build more rapport. So send those, and then by this point now, congrats, pat yourself on the back, you booked your first call, or you booked a call. And the whole thing is super repeatable. So if you can book one person in, you can book as many people in. If you know how to do that, you can do it as long as you want, as many times as you want. Okay, cool. So you would have booked the call in by now, but we're not just done yet. We want to make sure that they actually show up to the call. So here's how you do that. 6 to 12 hours before their call slot, you check in on them. You confirm that you can still make it. So what's up, name? Are you still good to go for the call later? And then they'll either tell you, yes, all good, which is great, or they'll tell you, no, sorry, something came up, which in that case, or they can't make it. If in that case, then just reschedule them in and just find a different date and time, or send the link again, send the call link again. And then if they're still good to go for the call though, we want to confirm with them one more time, just to absolutely make sure they show up. So 30 to 60 minutes before the call, you want to give them the Zoom link. If you have the Zoom link, then send it. If you don't, then that's fine. Just ask them if they need the Zoom link, because we say, here's the Zoom link, by the way, in case you need it. This is 30 to 60 minutes before their call. The reason you say this is a couple things. Again, some people, depending on your niche, have never hopped on a Zoom call, or they don't know how Zoom works. They don't know how Calendly works. You kind of have to babysit them. Another thing is people are lazy. So if they have the link right then and there that you sent to them, and they know where to find it, then there's almost no excuse why they can't show up. And then the third reason why we say this is, if we said this again, if we say this twice, it's just too repetitive, it's too annoying. If you just, like, imagine someone messages you, are you good for the call later? And then they message you again, hey, are you actually good for the call later? That's kind of annoying, right? So this is our way of confirming and following up again to make sure they show up without saying the same thing. So say that, and then hopefully they'll be like, okay, cool, yeah, if you can send the Zoom link, that'll be great, or no, I already have the Zoom link. Either way, you booked in your call. If they don't show up by then that's another topic, but there we go. That's how you book in a call, guys. This is the framework. If you have any questions, just let me know, but this is top to bottom. Make sure you go follow it to a T. And again, if at any point they stop responding, always remember to follow up. And with follow-ups, a couple ground rules. I have a whole module onto that, but just quickly, don't make assumptions. Start off slow, then gradually be more direct. Don't skip follow-ups. I usually follow up between 1 to 4 times before moving on, meaning moving on to another person. So we don't come across as spammy or annoying, you want to send these further apart from the last. So just quickly with the follow-ups, this is what I say for follow-ups. You can copy paste this. The first follow-up is just their name or a question mark or this. You can even send memes too. If you want to really come up with your own sauce and be original, send memes. And I'll see if I can attach some memes for follow-ups. Second follow-up, if they don't respond after this, just say, and this is at any point in the conversation, whether it's they leave you on read here, they leave you on read during the questions, they leave you on read before you're about to send the link, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Don't make assumptions. Basically, we don't want to take it personally when they leave us on read. Maybe an emergency come up, maybe they got busy along the way, doesn't matter, we don't want to take it personally. Start off slow, then gradually be more direct. So as you can see here with these follow-ups, the first follow-up is kind of soft. Second one is a bit longer, but still kind of soft, like a soft nudge. Third one is you're starting to get more direct with them, like trying to see like, hey, what's actually going on, what's up. And then the fourth one is the most direct. Like, if you're not interested, then just let me know, stop following up. Don't skip follow-ups, as I've said. It's important, it's vital. And then this is what I just usually do 1 to 4 times. And when I say send these further apart from the last, so the first one you send after 24 hours. You can come up with your own timeline, but this is what I do, so feel free to copy me. So 24 hours after they first leave you on red, send this. If they still leave you on red or don't respond after this one, then wait 2 days, wait 48 hours. With the third one, send it after 3 days. And number 4, 3 days plus. Okay? The reason we do this is because, like, again, you put yourself in the prospect shoes. If you just kept getting followed up every 24 hours, like a message every single day, wouldn't that get annoying? Exactly. So that would be super annoying. That would be super spammy. We'd lose the lead. But we still want to follow up. We still want to be persistent, right? So the way you kind of get around that is by taking longer to respond after each follow-up, or sending the follow-ups longer than the rest. So you space it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the framework. Here are the example questions again one more time if you want to get some inspiration or copy them. Obviously, I just put here the vids on my YouTube channel if you're stuck. But other than that, super self-explanatory. Oh, here's another example. If we send the free resource, here you go. With the sales, if you're selling like an appointment setting program, if you're selling a sales program, then this is what you could say. It's like, hey, are you in sales as well, or just starting out? That's what you send. So yeah, that's the framework from a nutshell, from a bird's eye view. Follow it to a T. I've attached it to the course, so you find the link there. And apart from that, if you have any more questions, just let me know. And yeah, that's the framework right there. Enjoy.